welcome to episode 1 of Period Talks. I'm running the show. My name is Christian Fink. With me today, I have, to my right,
Joel Westwood, expert on all things period and menstruation.
I'm Bryony, and I'm a female, so I experience it more fully.
I'm Martine, and I actually have the coil, so I don't have periods anymore.
My name is Zoe, I have the implant and get the occasional period.
My name is Abby and I am on the pill.
So that's everybody here.
That wasn't rehearsed.
No, we did that well. So where should we start? What should we talk about?
Menstrual cup. What is this new phase on the block? Can
So-
someone please explain it to me?
So you guys, you all have periods.
We do.
Great.
Occasionally.
You're the experts.
Smooth.
None of you use menstrual cups at all, do you?
No.
No.
No,
It's-
not at all.
It's weird. It's
To be honest, I think it's a new thing. I think I've always used like tampons, pads, but this is a new thing that I'm intrigued by, even though I don't have periods at the moment.
They do scare me a little bit. I mean, it's all good for the environment, but I'm not quite on board with it yet.
I think it's just too foreign.
Chris, can you explain the menstrual cups to us?
Yeah, so my girlfriend has a menstrual cup and she's been using it for about 3 years now. And for her, it's just like the perfect thing that's just like really just basically just changed her life. I mean, it's once you get the hang of using it, it's easy to use. It's like so much more environmentally friendly. And it's so much more cost effective than using like tampons, sanitary pads or anything like that. So for her, it's just an absolute no-brainer. And I think it's picking up, like people are talking about it more now, but there's still, I think, a reluctance from people, especially, people that, like women who have been having periods for a while already, and they're sort of reluctant to take the step to using a cup because they're used to what they're used to, like that they've been using period sanitary products that like for years, and that's just what they know, that like they don't really know that there's this better product out there.
No, I agree with that.
Did she struggle with it when she first started using it?
I would say yeah, for the first like couple of weeks or like first few times of using it, it was just like getting used to like getting it in and everything, and like having to like clean it and everything like that. But like once you get into the habit of it, just like anything else, like you're gonna find it easier to handle.
Okay, how did she manage the mess of it, like removing it? How do you do it? I'm so confused.
Yeah,
I've
but
had horror stories
you're
of
supposed to
people that have
clean it,
spilt
like,
it everywhere, and
Please
So-
explain.
That's
doesn't
like,
sound like a fun experience to me.
Well, I mean, it's designed to be as simple as it can be. I mean, it has a stem on the bottom which you would like pull like you would like a string on a tampon or anything like that to remove it, and then you can just empty it into the toilet, into a sink, and then clean it out with water, and then you're done. Then you can put it back in, or like you have like a pouch that comes with it that you can put it in like at the end of your period. So
See, I think the thing for most girls is that they don't want to be cleaning it, especially when you're like at uni or somewhere. But I think because it lasts 10 hours, isn't it?
12 hours, I think, yeah.
It's like that's a long time. Like when are you going to be at uni for 10 hours? So it's like I suppose you can like wait until you go home to clean it. It's not like you're in the toilets at work or somewhere being like, what do I do with this blood? But I think it's different. It's not what we're used to. I don't think enough people use it to get like you don't get opinions on it because not many people use it.
I think that's a really good pro though, the fact that it can last like 12 hours. Obviously with tampons and pads you have to change them
Yeah.
like every couple of hours,
Yeah, and
every
you've not
4
got
hours.
to worry about toxic shock either. Like if you leave your tampon in for
That's
over
true.
like is it 6 hours or something, you're at risk of it.
There's
but-
chemicals, isn't there?
Yeah, and like the
is let
bacteria
off.
grows on it, but with menstrual cups they don't. So
Okay.
I think that's why it lasts so long, is that you've not got the worry of picking up anything or making yourself poorly.
Can you sleep in them?
yeah, you can. Yeah, so because you can leave them in for up to 12 hours, like it means you can sleep with them. Then like no problem. Then you just empty it in the morning, and then you're good to go. So
Sounds convenient for a night out.
Yes, definitely.
No drunk
and you
changing
can't,
of
like,
anything.
you've got it in. So it's like if you do get to a point where you've not got anything on you, you can't change it. Like you've not got that worry, you just take it out, clean it, put it back in again. Because there's no bigger fear than going on a night out and being like, I've forgotten to bring tampons with me.
Yeah, that is.
I am
not
just
cool.
bleeding.
In a white pair of trousers, like no,
Yeah.
that's not.
I
Cool.
think the one thing that sometimes, like with my girlfriend, is that sometimes she does forget about it because you know, because you don't have to think about it. You can put it in, and that's 12 hours
I just
later.
imagine they're really
So-
uncomfortable though. Like I get that you get used to them because when you first use tampons, like they are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You're not used to something, but they're like a lot smaller than a menstrual cup. I feel like that's going to take a lot more getting used to.
Well, I think there's different sizes. So I think
I
Moon
think you get
Cup, who
3
offer
sizes,
them,
can't
yeah,
you?
I think they have 2 or 3 different sizes. So it's just depends on yourself really.
How do you know what size is good for you though? Like because
Yeah.
tampons you're on flow, you know how heavy your flow
Yeah.
is. How do you know how big?
I think
your
it's to do
insides
with
are-
flow. I think on their website.
Or if you've
it
had a
says-
baby.
Yeah, I think the small ones are recommended for people that haven't had babies because like you're supposed to be tighter down there.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's true.
It is when you go on if you go on the website, it'll be like big a certain size is recommended for people with kids.
Oh really?
Yeah. But they
Wow,
say that,
so-
but they also say when you're on the coil, like they don't like giving you the coil unless you've had a kid.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
it says
say that as well.
sized you and your doctor. So to find the right cup size, you have to take into consideration your age, length of your cervix.
How do you know how big your cervix is?
I
I'm not
have
going to
no idea.
Like how big is it?
I guess that's something you could ask when you have like smears and stuff,
Sure.
though.
Yeah, but you have to wait till you're 25 for smears.
True. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
That's for another week.
That is for another week. I think though, with the menstrual cups, you mentioned cost effective. So
They are
I guess
so
it's
much
just
cheaper.
the one cup that you buy.
I mean,
Yeah,
even
so
if you
they are
reuse it
priced
and
at
reuse
like
it.
roughly around £20 to £25.
which
Okay.
is
So
not bad, considering how much
basically-
you pay on tampons.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
after 6 to 8 months, it's going to be paying for itself. And
And
like,
they
Yeah.
last like 8 to 10 years or something.
Yeah.
They last 10 years.
If you think about how many tampons you go through in a month alone, and if you're doing that every month, every year for the next 8
Yeah.
to 10 years, that's a lot of money. You're spending a fortune.
over the course of a lifetime, a single menstruator will use between 5 to 15,000 pads and
Oh my
tampons.
God.
So
Each
Oh
person.
my
that's a lot of
God.
That's
saving.
a lot.
That is absolutely insane.
Well, you've got to think about the tax as well on tampons. Like,
That's
that's
true.
ridiculous. But I bet there's tax on this, but because it's just
this is
One
one-off
an
time
payment.
investment,
Yeah.
isn't
purchase
it?
for 10 years.
like, it might be more expensive than getting a pack of tampons, but it is cheaper in the long run.
And we can't obviously forget about if we're buying that many tampons and pads, all that waste, all that plastic that's going out to
I didn't
the
know how much
environment.
plastic was in them. Like, I knew that the packaging was plastic. There's actual plastic inside the tampon.
Mm.
Like, first of all, why am I putting plastic inside me? That's weird. I thought they were just cotton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a micro,
not.
like microplastic, so it's
Yeah,
like
it's the stuff
tiny
that-
little things. But
And
like,
it's the stuff that absorbs it. And I
Yeah.
was completely foreign to that. And then I
What?
realised that there's so much plastic in them.
It's because we're so conditioned, though, that that's what you use. You've always used tampons. You've never
Yeah.
looked at what it's made of because
No, you don't
that's
think
what you're
about
told
it.
to use.
It's basically a medical thing. You're not going to be like, oh, how
Yeah.
much plastic's in it? But I think when you realise how much plastic is in it, you're like,
and I suppose most people feel like there's a certain amount of ease with a tampon. It's like it's in, it's out, it's in the bin, and you forget
it's
about
normal
it.
as well,
Yeah.
though. If you've got a complication with it, you can quite happily go to any of your friends and they'll give you advice on it. A menstrual cup. If I went to one of my friends, if I used one and was like, oh, I'm having issues with this, what's your advice? They would have no idea.
So let's just get this straight. So tampons absorb the blood,
Yes.
yeah?
Yeah. And, so
And
do
the
pads.
menstrual cup, what does that do
It
then?
collects it.
It collects it, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And then you
collects it, and
empty it out.
Yeah.
And then put it back in. But obviously clean it and then put it
Yeah,
back
but
in.
can it like
Okay.
overflow? That's what I don't get.
It
It
can
probably
do,
does.
but you would then just go and empty it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
but you've
But I
already
feel
and
like
made the
it'd be a
mess.
bit
That
late
always
when
gonna
it
be
like
convenient.
Yeah.
if you leak when you've got a pad on, you know you're about to leak.
Mm.
If you've got a tampon on, because you changed it so frequently.
Yeah.
It's about just learning about yourself, and
Yeah, knowing
this
your
is
body,
how
I guess.
long it's going to last for me. So then,
True.
like when like if it leaks one time, then you know that like that's the amount of time that you've got. So that for next time that you would empty it earlier.
Yeah, that's
I
the same with
guess
tampons,
yeah,
though.
it's
Yeah.
the same as the
Yeah.
tampon,
It depends
really,
on
isn't
your flow
it?
as well. I think you get to know it.
Yeah.
Because it's just so new, and we've not been
It's
brought
trial
up
and
using
error,
it.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you first time using tampons and stuff, it's not. you don't know what you're doing, and you're always worried that you're going to leak or whatever. I feel like it's the same thing.
Yeah, there is actually an app that can sort of control if you put in your menstrual cycle, when you are due to come on, how long your period lasts, how often you are meant to change like your products, then the app sort of tells you what to expect and when to change things, when you're going to even expect mood swings, which is crazy.
I'd rather not know.
Yeah,
Is this
literally.
Clue?
Too many
Everybody
of them.
else can deal
Yeah,
with that,
this
not
is-
me.
Yeah, literally. That is the app Clue. So I think you detail everything to do with your personal things with
Yeah.
your menstrual cycle, and then it just helps you along the road. So I think that could probably help when to change the cup as
Do
well.
any
Yeah,
of you
'cause-
guys use Clue?
I used to use a similar app called Eve, which
Okay.
is basically, there's a lot of period apps out there. Some
I
of
There's
them,
a
didn't even
few.
know they existed before.
you
I
literally go
researched
on
it.
like App Store or Google Play and type in period app, and there's so many. Some are better than others.
I
But-
use Clue, and I just think I stumbled across one that works really well. I haven't had to figure out
Yeah.
which ones are better than
Yeah.
others.
See, Eve was the first one I used. It came from my recommended, and I was like, why? Because I've never gone on the App Store and tried to find anything menstrual related. But I found it, used it, and I was like, I love it. And then I tried to use another one to see if it was any better, and I was just like, it's not the same. But I think there's definitely some good ones out there.
Again, it's just what you get used to, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the app that you're used to. You know how it works. Same
It's
as
true.
Yeah.
pads or tampons. You know what
Yeah,
you're
used to it.
using.
Yeah.
I think it definitely helps with the balance as well, because that's the one thing about us women. Obviously, we have periods. You can seem so like erratic at times because you're not expecting certain things. You're not expecting your hormones to be everywhere. That just finds the balance for you, and you sort of are more prepared then, aren't you?
Yeah, and you
So-
understand what's going on as well, because sometimes you literally like, you don't realise your period's due and you sat in bed crying your eyes out over the most random thing ever. You're like, why am I weak? Why am I like this? And then you come on your period the next day and you're like, oh,
That's why.
it makes
explains
sense
it.
now.
That's why I'm throwing things around the room.
This is why I'm having a strop over nothing.
I'm actually really lucky to not have periods anymore. I've got the Mirena coil, and it doesn't release hormones into your body. So the periods that you're meant to have, you still can sometimes get the side effects, like the mood swings or breakouts or whatever, but you don't actually have the blood flow. And I think a lot
That's
of...
the worst part.
Yeah, but a lot of people think, oh, so what happens with the blood? Does it just stay there and clog up for months on end? No, your body don't produce it.
Yeah.
So you just stop having the period. So I'm actually really lucky
That's
to
the
hear you
difference with
guys
like the
saying this.
implant. You don't have periods for ages, and when you do, it's a lot because it
It's really
does.
heavy, yeah.
It doesn't like build up and away because your body does stop at some point. Like you're not literally like your line is just building up, building up, building up,
It's
building
a
up.
lot less blood, and it just comes out
It's
over a
long
longer period of time,
Yeah.
which
Which
for
is
me is
good.
much more manageable.
I'd rather that, yeah, because you've not got the worry of like leaking. It's literally you're
Changing
spotting.
tampons every couple of hours.
Sometimes it's to the point where you just don't need anything because it's so little.
It's much more manageable.
Yeah.
Okay. What other environmental factors about this menstrual cup is there then? So obviously there's the
No plastic.
little plastic
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, the fact that you only have to buy one like every 10 years. So
Okay.
Packaging
it's
as
made
well,
out of it's made out of silicon. So
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask actually. What if you're allergic? Do you do some sort of test beforehand?
yeah, I think you can get yourself tested for allergies to do with silicon. So
Okay.
you would
I
know
think
if
you
it's
know
safe
if
to
you're
use.
allergic to silicone though, because like a lot of things around the place are. Because it's basically
Yeah.
rubber, isn't it? Silicone. Or like
I feel like
a
they must
plasticky.
be working on an alternative as well for people that
Yeah,
are allergic to
definitely.
silicone.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's quite a few people with a silicone allergy.
Mm.
Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
surprise me because it's basically just chemicals.
Okay. So yeah, what about your girlfriend as well? Why did she say it changed her life? Did she literally just think
Well, I
I'm
think
done with tampons? or-
yeah, I mean she never liked using tampons much anyway. She used sanitary pads quite a lot as well.
Okay.
And she really didn't like them at all. And like growing up, I think she just really struggled with, finding what she liked using, and it would be that she would dread every month having to get her period, like when she was like younger. And now that she's got this thing, which is just so easy to use for her, like it's kind of just a no-brainer for her, like, and it's just saves her money and just no hassles.
How did she hear about it? Because it's quite a
actually
new
don't
thing,
know.
isn't it? Not many people
I think
have
she
it.
saw it on social media. Someone that she follows probably had one, and I think she found out from that, and then she tried it out for herself, and then hasn't looked back really.
Did
so.
she find it difficult the first
Yeah, I
like,
think
period?
for the first like few months, it was just about getting used to having it in. How often she should empty it and stuff. It just takes getting used to. Like, you just have to know when to empty it and that, basically.
Yeah, because I've watched quite a few videos on it, and it's one of those where it's a bit like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. Like, it's
Yeah.
very mixed. Like, I don't know anyone that's kind of stuck in the middle. It's either your thing or
I
it's
feel
not.
like you should give it a chance though. Like, if you're out there thinking, that you want something different to try, I think give it a try, because I mean you might be in the same situation. You may just never look back, and that's it.
It's true. I'm actually pretty convinced for this. When I do have periods, I think I will try it out.
Yeah, I think I might as well.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take a lot of getting used to.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it is
worth a shot.
it's
though.
Yeah, I
weird
think
though,
if
innit?
you give it time, I think it's definitely worth it.
Think about the money you're saving and
Yeah,
the
exactly.
plastic that you're
It's
saving.
like it's a win-win. If it works for you, you are just winning at life. Like, you're having an easy period, you're saving the turtles,
Literally.
you're saving your bank account
People
for
our
15
age,
grand a year.
they're struggling for money. Like,
It is true.
It's
Save
a
No,
money.
win-win.
I am pretty sold. I think I will give it a go. So thank you. You guys have it
I mean-
easy. Us girls have always got another problem.
well, from
to
my
think of.
perspective, like, it's been great learning from my girlfriend, like all
Definitely.
about like everything to do with it, because
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about.
Yeah,
anything
I'm
to do
pretty
with it.
shocked that you're actually a dude and you know
Yeah,
more than all
I know
of
about
us
this thing, yeah.
about this menstrual cup.
I wish
And-
everyone was as open as you, though, because some boys are literally like, no.
I feel like-
Yeah,
Periods are
they're
a no-go.
freaked out, aren't
People
they?
They
just
need
have to talk about
educated.
it.
It makes life so much easier, especially when you've got a girlfriend, when you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just feel alone, and
And you
just
talk
not
to them and they're
okay.
like, I don't want to know. You need to know. You
I
need to
think-
know what our bodies go through. We know what their bodies
Yeah,
go through.
they need to go through it as well.
I think as
we
guys,
To
you
be
need
honest,
to
there's
sort
not
of
a lot to what our bodies go through.
Yeah, you guys are just simplistic. to be
Yeah,
honest.
I
You
feel
go
like
through
guys
puberty
need
and
to
it's
sort
done.
of listen to girls and understand and be willing to sort of
Why are you looking at me then?
listen. And understand.
Especially you, Joel.
Yeah, because you're this guy. he needs to learn, and
I've
girls-
been educated.
yeah, and then girls, I think, just be open and just talk about these things, and it's not embarrassing, and you can be open with guys, you can be open with like boyfriends and all that, like,
Yeah.
and that's how people learn things,
Yeah, definitely.
and they can
It's
relate
true.
to you more.
Periods
Yeah.
are horrible enough as it is. To open up about it and speak to people makes it a lot easier, especially when you're younger, because you've got all these worries thinking, I'm not normal, this happens.
Mm.
I mean, when I was at school, no one wanted to mention about the smell, nothing. You get
Yeah,
older
that's
and
another
then
thing.
you realise it's normal, it's just how your body works. And
Yeah,
it,
you
co-
become
it comforts you,
comfortable.
and you
Mm.
understand your body a lot more, and then it becomes normal, and
Yeah.
you understand when there's a problem, you understand when you're healthy. It makes it a lot easier.
It's
to be
just a
going
lot
through
of learning, really, isn't it? Like,
Mm.
how are you going to learn to use the moon cup? You just got to bear with it.
Yeah.
The longer you bear with it, the more you'll understand about it, and the more it's going to work for you.
Well, if you think how long we've been having periods for, like, years, we're still learning now.
Yeah,
Like, I think it's just
true.
a never-ending cycle of learning. Like, you learn every period you have.
But the more we talk about it and become comfortable with it, it will encourage younger people, whether it's girls or guys, to accept that it is just part of,
It's-
obviously, life.
It's how
just the thing that
bodies
happens.
work, and it's how they've worked all
and
their
they're
lives.
not going away anytime
like,
soon.
everyone's had periods, so obviously unless you're a boy. But
Yeah, it's
So
true.
basically, what you're saying is that people need to have more conversations like this.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
it needs to be normalised quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like, because I think these subjects are quite touchy.
they're technically
And
like,
people
should
shy
be,
away
but
from
they're
it.
like, oh no, we don't talk about that. Like, it's not table-like, it's not
Yeah.
something. you
Even
wanna
us doing this podcast on this right now, like, it's not a particular topic that you would think, right, let's get that out on the radio.
be- yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a comfortable topic. Like, no
Mm.
one here is awkward about it, unless you're Joel.
Sorry, Joe.
But it's just normal.
Stop
It's part of
scapegoating
life.
me.
At least he's showing a real perspective. A lot of guys would be like that.
And he's
so-
listening, and he's
And
not
he's
like,
learning.
no.
Say anything.
He's not like, periods are jokes, like they're not real.
Okay, well, thank you, Chris, for informing us about
No
it.
worries.
Yeah, thank
Happy
you.
to help.
Definitely
Thank
buy
you.
one.
Thank you. And
Thanks, Chris.
tell your girlfriend we said thank you also for
Yeah,
teaching
because
you.
we
I
would
will
not
do.
know about this without you and your girlfriend.
You've educated all of us here.
I'm giving a service. All right, so that's the end of this episode.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.